with market needs, ensuring that our workforce is prepared for future. Today, our first session is planned around redesigning skilling infrastructure in JNK. Our panelists are Mr. Shrikant Sinha from TASK, Mr. Santosh Kumar from Reimagining Foundation, Professor Dinesh Kumar from Shri Vishwakarma Skills University, Haryana, Mr. Anubhav Singh from Lenda Hand India, Ms. Nidhi Gupta from Tech Mahindra, who is joined by us on DC. Ms. Nidhi, are you there? She's right. Okay. Mr. Arun Kumar Pillai from NAMTEC and Professor Ashok Kumar Nagapal from Delhi Skills and Entrepreneurship University. I welcome you all. This panel will be moderated by Aditya from GTI Partners. Aditya, over to you.
Hello everyone, good morning, so glad to be here. I hope you all are having a great time, and as Asi mentioned, we had such an insightful session yesterday on how to bridge the skill gap, how to build an ecosystem around it, and what is the role of private players in apprenticeship and placements. Now we move on to a very crucial topic following that is how do we want to redesign the whole skilling infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir. And this topic is very relevant for all the stakeholders, be it student, industry leader, and government. So, we'll delve deeper into this topic. We have our panelist, Professor Ashok Kumar Nagapal. Dr. Nagapal is a senior academic leader and a physicist with over 40 years of experience in higher education reform. As the Vice Chancellor of VSUV, formed by unifying 15 legacy institutions, he has spearheaded the transformation of traditional institutions into future-ready multi-campus scaling hubs. We also have Professor Dinesh Kumar with us. Professor Kumar, a Cambridge alumnus with 30 plus years of experience in academia and research, is the recipient of Homi J. Bhabha Memorial Award. As the head of STSU, India's first government skill university established as a greenfield institution, he has championed the hub and spoke model delivery modular industrial education aligning with the NEP 2020. We also have Mr. Anubhav Singh with us. Anubhav Singh is a public education specialist overseeing school-based vocational training. At Lenda Hand India, Anubhav plays a key role in translating policy into practice. We also welcome Mr. Arun Kumar Pillai. Arun Kumar Pillai is a seasoned leader with over 30 years of experience across NSDS, EY, and public-private education venture. Also, thank you so much, sir, for sharing how NAMTEC is creating impact. We have joining online Ms. Nidhi Gupta with us. Ms. Nidhi is leading healthcare scaling vertical at Tech Mahindra Foundation Smart Academy in Delhi, NCR. The Smart Academy is a flagship CSR initiative offering industry-integrated course that equips unreserved youth with hands-on training and assured placement support in multiple sectors. We also welcome Mr. Shrikant Sinha. Mr. Sinha brings over 35 years of leadership experience across social sectors, including a tenure as CEO of Nassau Foundation. Under his leadership, TASK is giving Telangana youth an opportunity to be a part of the premier workforce. We also thank him to share his insights on how TASK is working. Lastly, we have Mr. Santosh Kumar with us, who is a Vice President at Vartmani Foundation, and he is leading Vartmani Foundation's initiative on school to work transition, career readiness, and employment. So with this, we will move forward with our panelists. Moving forward to Professor Ashok Kumar Nagapal, sir, the first question that I would like to ask you is that you have led the transformation of PSUV by merging legacy institutions into a cohesive future-ready skilling university. Based on that experience, what are the key design and governance principles that J&K must adopt while revamping their existing skill institution into multi-camp performance systems?
Thank you, Namaskar. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to share my views with Tech, Early Skill and Entrepreneurship University. As you may be aware that I think there is a report. Okay. So I would like to share reviews, vision, and what we have achieved so far at Early Skill and Entrepreneurship University. Early Skill and Entrepreneurship University was established in October 2020 practically when the first Vice Chancellor joined it, and later on the government of NCC decided to launch 10 polytechnics, 2 degree engineering colleges, 2 Delhi Institute of Tool Engineering, and the premises which were created for world-class skill center into this university. DSU at present is one of the biggest skill university in the sense that it has 22 functional campuses. None of the university in India has 22 campuses. We have 22 functional campuses all over MCT of that. And we have 18,000 regular students. But the vision of DSU is to bring in pressuring change in the skilling scenario and skill education and promoting entrepreneurship. So we not only offer regular academic programs which are based on National Education Policy 2020 and National Academic Framework. So we offer programs right from 3-year clinical diploma to the PhD program. At all level we offer programs based on our regulations. But at the same time, we believe that the job of university is to cater to the requirement of everyone in the society. So we have 3 kinds of students. Number 1, the regular students join a regular academic program or 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year. Also have students who sign up for only a certain number of credit as student. What is concurrent student? And it may be pursuing degree from any other college in Delhi or elsewhere and wish to attend some specific skill credit certification from DSU. So that 18,000 students we have in regular academic programs. In addition to that, we can enroll students in concurrent program. And the third is we offer short-term skill credit certification for all, right from kids to senior citizens. We have different kinds of programs in mind. So that's the one aspect of DSU. The second important aspect of DSU is that when we conceptualize it, we are now thinking that the university thinks that it should cater to all skill disciplines. And therefore we have 15 different activities and more than 100 now. Once we will be able to finish recruitment in all these departments, we would be offering programs related to each and every discipline. Since we offer programs as per NEP, so all programs involve multiple entry and multiple exit, and only 50% is the discipline-centric courses which are compulsory. Rest are elective. So many DSU is one of the university which is offering programs fully in tune with the National Education Policy and giving the student the maximum flexibility to choose. So even if I am learning a program and attending a program in BFSI, and I wish to attend a skill course in electrical engineering, then I can opt for that. However, for admission, strict the merit and availability of it is considered. But we allow students to get interdisciplinary exposures. That's the duty. Then now the major problem which we faced when this university was created, it is easy to pass the orders administratively and create a university. But it is very difficult to deliver because you have to discuss and resolve. Major problem which most of the faces is lack of funding or financial support for creating the state-of-art laboratory infrastructure or workshop or student infrastructure, which is essential for skill education. So for that, the DSE group has a focus that we cannot depend upon the government only. That's how we have launched program in partnership with the industry, and that industry through its CSR or otherwise have helped us in upgrading the infrastructure in the DSEU. I will give you one example. We offer programs also refrigeration and air conditioning skills. And now to offer the refrigeration and air conditioning skills, the kind of infrastructure, laboratory infrastructure, DSE was having was not suitable because it was old-fashioned or old type of technology, it was for training. So we requested that now on DSU campus, we are happy to know that we have laboratory set up established by the company, trainer also provided by the company, like Hitachi, and Blue Star. So our vision is that even if we go for industry partnership, we wish to involve more than one industry in each particular skill sector or industry sector. So that is essential because our students shall get exposure to all leading industries and networks. So for example, when we offer program in automobile engineering, then our student has access to a lab set up by Maruti, Hyundai, and as well as Mercedes-Benz. So they get the exposure, they improve their skills, they know in-house, and that they are really employed. That's why in all such sectors we are succeeded in upgrading the laboratory infrastructure or workshop infrastructure using support from the industry. We have been very successful, and the placement not only has been 100%, it is to the satisfaction of the industry. So it was most important that we develop curriculum in discussion with the industry. So we have more than right now 56 board of studies and committee of professors which they have constituted. And in each of the board of studies, we have faculty members directly working with us. Number two, faculty members for academic experience with other universities or near universities. And number three, industry or skill sector experts. And number four, alumni. Most of the institutions which have been merged into Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University are operational for a long period of time. We have a strong alumni base in most of the companies. So we are also involving alumni in curriculum development. Unless we address the requirement of the industry and talk with them and develop the necessary infrastructure and train the student according to their requirement, employability cannot be ensured. So we also launched programs as per the requirement of the industry. Like one example I will give you, that is that we got that there are a lot of demand of optometrists in hospitals. And so to address that, we signed an MOU and we are offering a program in optometry with support from Lenskart, one of the leading industry. So this program, the Lenskart has not created the laboratory infrastructure, provided all the stuff which was required. Because as you may be knowing that in a government or state funded university, even if the funds are made available by the government, procurement is difficult because of the finance rules and various things which are there, which gets handled. So we have taken directly the systems and setups from the Lenskart that out at our campus, and the trainers are also being provided by the Lenskart, and this program is also a very successful program for this. Right now you would be happy to know that in this day we are offering more than 83 regular academic programs for admission. In few we will not be able to make admission. We continuously work on and treat back with different programs each and every year. This is a university with a very open system, and we don't consider it as a failure. Even if we launch a program and if there are no takers of the program, and we did it and relaunch it every 6 months, we can now will be having admission both in Delhi as well as in Mumbai. So in that way, the DSE will get quite an opportunity. So because time may be limited, so that's something which I wish to say about the regular academic program. The next program which we wish to offer as short-term skill credit certification. So at DSAU we have target 18,000 students will be getting right now, and 24,000 is our plan. In regular academic program we would be including. So we wish to enroll the students in short-term skill credit programs. 50% or more. Sometimes more students we should enroll. Our target which we have fixed, and we are working on that. For short-term skilling program or need-based skilling program, we have taken several initiatives with the support from the government and other agencies. I would give you one example, and that is the Women Works program. The Women Works program is supported by the government of the University of Delhi and by the Department of Women and Child Development. In this particular program, what we have proactive approach for education. We hired and recruited 50 fellows, and these fellows are protecting the women living in underprivileged areas of Delhi and slums and belonging to poor sections of the society. So we are contacting them proactively. You would be happy to know that in 2 years' time, we could establish contact with more than 21,000 people living in Delhi. And out of that, reaction, their interest, the things that they want to do at the kind of sport that they want to launch, we could provide skill to 1,500 women living in slum areas based on recognition of prior learning. They have no formal certificate. Some of these women even have the capacity to read and write properly. So, but we are interested that the skill sector, certain skills can be acquired, and the person can contribute to the society in a particular area without having formal academic knowledge also. So the skill education requires a cognitive domain of learning, but at the same time it requires practical learning, hands-on being experience, and deeper content. So there are several success stories from our Women Works program. There are 57 self-help groups created by women engaged under this program, and they are doing wonderful jobs. And I have statistics which definitely I would be sharing with the organizers, and if anybody is interested, then they may take the learnings which we have from the program in Delhi in 2 years' time. Similar program we have launched in collaboration with Lighthouse Certification, and where we have provided 2 months, 3 months training for a specific job role to students or young youth living in particular areas of Delhi. And these programs are offered not at our campuses, but at the premises of Delhi Urban Infrastructure Center Board, premises, and where we are getting the CSR support from Sudan Foundation, and that trainers and training materials which we have approved. In each case, our curriculum is approved by our bodies.
Sir, I am very sorry, but I have to.
Lighthouse Foundation also, we have trained more than 5,000 students in the last 2 years. So that is our success story in short-term skilling program. Now,
thank you so much, sir, for your insights. We have cut short for.
And providing programs based on recognition of prior learning is very much essential. We have certain projects in pipeline. Once we get the support, we will be launching. Like what kind of programs are based on recognition of prior learning we are thinking of. Number one program which we are thinking of is to provide short-term skill credit certification for street food vendors in Delhi. To proactively proactive manner with the implement code, the necessary skills required for the state would develop. The training program would be offered for them. And that program would involve training in digital literacy, financial literacy, business planning, communication skills, and how to also manage food production.
Dr. Ashok, I am really sorry, but I have to cut you short because of the lack of the time. We'll move on to the next part of the discussion, and definitely the team will reach out to you for the further insights. So my next, as we all understand that in skilling pipeline, the schools or what is being taught at school also play a very crucial role. So I would like to ask a directed question to Mr. Anubhav Singh, that you have worked very extensively in integrating vocational education into school system. Like, what kind of skilling infrastructure is more effective at school level, particularly in a region like J&K, where outreach and accessibility at times can be challenging. And I would really request you to focus more on the infrastructure required at a school level. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and Honorable Chief Secretary Sir and what the Secretary Sir would like to say, and all the delegates. Very good morning to everyone. Namaskar here. I work in an organization called Reimagining India, and we are an 18-year-old organization purely working in skilling education school ecosystem. And we work across spectrum from policy to on-ground implementation. And there has been enough experience of how skilling has evolved in the school ecosystem maybe over the last 8 and 10 years. And I think I want to take a moment also to just brief about what is currently happening in the school ecosystem. One of the things that has happened is the recent advent of the National Education Policy 2020 and the National Curriculum Framework, which has given a very strong thrust and emphasis on building a right orientation around skilling in the school ecosystem. And that's how where the feeder capital also comes up for the ITIs, polytechnics, and the skill universities. Now, what is happening there? I think if you follow the National Curriculum Framework, NCRT has also launched the conscious work curriculum, which is actually designed for grades 6 to 8, and we are starting early from grade 6 onwards itself. There's a lot of training and orientation happening at the school level with the teachers who are already present in the school ecosystem, like the maths and physics and the science teachers. So the idea is how to weave that into the existing mindset of the teachers and the students, right? Yesterday we were talking about that there is a mindset shift also needed at the level of students when they are exposed to skilling or vocational education per se. Now, interestingly, I think when we talk about infrastructure has there has been enough advancement of infrastructure investment, lab setups, and tools equipment procurement. The GEM portal has evolved significantly. There are packages, there are a lot of service providers available to provide all varieties of infrastructures and tool equipments. In fact, I was just looking at the courses which are being offered in the ITIs, vis-a-vis to one that are offered by CBSE and the Ministry of Education in vocational education. There's a lot of duplicacy that I could find out, and because 9th 10th is also offering courses like tool guide, air conditioning, refrigeration, and or retail, financial market management, the curriculum in the school system has evolved as compared to the ones that are being following in the ITIs. That's something that we really need to look at right now. And my friend, I think I should also hear from Automotive Skill Development Council. We work together in bringing courses like robotics, mechatronics, Industry 4.0, IoT, then math labs there. So there has been enough industry participation as well and openness to bring this down to the level of students, and how do you sort of ease the level of understanding. So that efforts has already been done in vocational education there. I think there is a need to also shift gears in the ITIs as when we look at the school ecosystem there, because the exposure is already being given there. That's the first one that I wanted to bring about. And the National Curriculum Framework also emphasizes on the idea of multi-sectoral education from grade 9 to 10. So what is happening earlier, what has happened is कि बच्चों को grade 9 में मान लीजिए कोर्स मिला, retail पढ़ लिया या IT पढ़ लिया, तो 9 to 12 तक वही पढ़ना है. 12th में आकर realize होता है कि this is not my interest area. Now what do I do? Right? And we realize that IT is also offering a similar course. So there, what Ministry has done is they have broken the whole approach of scaling into 3 forms of work, and which is the largest or the basic foundation of economy about health, work forms, and human services. Those categories के अंदर the courses have been divided. Now the schools are required to offer courses under those categories. Now the students will get exposure to at least 5 to 6 sectors within grade 9 to 10 itself. 11, 12 when they come and make choices of specializations, and then they take the roadmap of bridging into ITIs and polytechnics and the skill universities. There's another vision, which is again complemented by the national credit framework. The higher education seems to have really adopted the national credit framework, the credit framework well, but there's a need to work with the school ecosystem, and that's when the point of convergence comes up. And we were talking about yesterday that the skill development department and the school education department needs to sit together and find out that how do we creditize the courses. CBSE currently has the mandate of implementing credit framework in the school system, and they're working on it. But there needs to be a larger discussion, conversation with the higher education and the skill universities to make it possible, right? Something that Sir spoke about the skill passport yesterday. There is also the Government of India has launched RIDs, like Academic Bank of Credits has been introduced, right? So that's a similar approach that has been taken care of right now. We just need to find out the synergies and how do we bring the efforts together. The third thing I wanted to emphasize on the course curriculum. So the course curriculum, हम कल से बोल रहे हैं कि course curriculum needs to evolve, but वो होगा कैसे, right? And I'm sorry, but I'm a very practitioner person who works in the field and the state department, so we focus largely on how to do things. Course curriculum evolve करने के लिए I was talking to Mashakali here from MSD, and the idea has evolved that the states need to become the dual body recognized awarding and assessing agencies, right? Jammu and Kashmir looking up has enough potential. There are 2 boards. One is the vocational or the technical education board. There is also the TP board, the Board of School Education. Right now, there is already a conversation between the Ministry of Education and the Board of School Education on how to develop them as a dual body recognition. Once the state has built the capacity to become a dual body recognized, they can develop their own courses which are locally relevant and which are in demand or in relevance with the industry requirement. Like some made the point yesterday from Maruti, that the courses need to be in line with what industry demands or requirements are, right? So that's something that we need to focus on, that how do we work towards building the state capacity first, and then we modulate the curriculum, and then we get into sort of looking into upgrading the infrastructure. Because infrastructure would be secondary, the first comes the curriculum relevance. Once we improvise curriculum, the corresponding infrastructure has to be put in place. The 4th thing I think I wanted to emphasize on internships. Internships is a very important aspect of scaling actually. This has been happening in the school system since 2017. Dr. Akarshan is here, you also know about that, how NSEC and other industries have come together to provide internship in the schools. In fact, if I have to put some numbers, last year maybe almost across 13 states and 19 CR's budget was sanctioned by the Ministry of Education to conduct internship in higher secondary grades, grade 11 and 12. At least 80 hours of internship is mandated there for all students going under skill courses. Close to 1,39,782 students pursued internships through 11,700 employees across all the states. This was across 13 states, right? When we look at the similar figures, the PM internship program was launched last year, and there's still an advocacy needed to build or create an ecosystem. How do we bring the employers and bridge? The mandate was 5,000, but there's a lot of potential. We can do much more there actually. Now, internship से होता क्या है? Sorry, I'll just quickly wrap up. But internship से होता क्या है कि हम जब बात करते हैं बच्चों को एक्सपोजर देने की या फिर bringing them, orienting them, or asking them to enroll for skill courses in ITIs, there is उनको नहीं पता कि इंडस्ट्री में रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। आज के डेट पर ITI की बात करें तो लास्ट गवर्नमेंट जॉब से ही मैपिंग देखी जाती है उसकी, बट द लार्जेस्ट स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ जॉब दैट इज अवेलेबल, we need to take the students out at the employer's workplace and give them exposure, right? Healthcare has a huge variety of jobs available, automotive sector, mechatronics, textile, all of them have a huge potential of jobs. But I think the need is with the exposure here, and not with the students only. I would also urge that we send out the ITI principals also in the first place to such places. Just wanted to mention the name of the Singapore Institute, which I set up the World Skill Centers in Odisha and in Delhi as well. And जो अभी नागरिक से बात कर रहे थे, there's enough I think leverage of funding and resource support which is being brought through government institutions as well, which is globally present, right? And they are ready to invest there. So that's something that we can look at. And I think one last thing, visibility is important. I was looking at the website, and it is important that the website needs to change from input to output or outcomes wale figures. What are the basements that we have secured? What are the industries that we have tied with? When we are looking at bringing the right talent, we need to also pitch or bring the visibility right in the right format. So that's something I wanted to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ango, for sharing your insight with us. As we are discussing how schools and skill universities are playing a crucial role, you also highlighted that healthcare as a sector is something that is budding up, that can take up a lot of people. So for that, we'll move to Miss Nidhi. Miss Nidhi, am I audible? Okay. Unfortunately, Miss Nidhi is not with us in this meeting. So we move to this next question that we have said that in Delhi there was a lot of legacy institutions were combined and then they were made into a university that's catering to a lot of people with different codes. But I would move to Professor Dinesh, who has been a founding member of a Greenfield Skill University project, and we would like to focus on two things further, that what is JK as a state should be looking at when we want to build a Greenfield Skill University, and what are the curriculum and industry interactions that we should start on day one, even before we start envisioning the university in place. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. प्रोफेसर को खड़े होने के पढ़ाने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत होती है, बैठने की नींद आती है, मैंने सबसे साथ ही पढ़ा, खड़ा होकर बोल दूँ समझ में यस। थैंक यू। देखिए बहुत कुछ बोला जा चुका है इस विषय में। हमारे अभी प्रोफेसर साहब डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार भाई संसद हैं दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, उन्होंने बहुत बोला कि किस लेवल से यूनिवर्सिटी को चला रहे हैं, और उससे पहले जो गुजरात में जो यूनिवर्सिटी बन रही है प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप के साथ में मित्र जो के साथ बन रही है, वो भी बहुत एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांस कोर्स के बारे में। हम भी अपनी दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी है पलवल में जिसका नाम है विश्वकर्मा स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी। पहले इसका नाम हरियाणा विश्वकर्मा का था, फिर बाद में ये हुआ कि हरियाणा नहीं विश्वकर्मा विश्वकर्मा स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी हुआ। और इस यूनिवर्सिटी में ऑलमोस्ट आज डेट में 70 टीचिंग प्रोग्राम्स हमारे पास चल रहे हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी हम बिल्डअप कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मेरा सवाल जो इन्होंने पूछा ना उससे ज़्यादा डायरेक्ट नहीं करूँगा अपने आप को कि देखिए जो स्किलिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है वो बनाना रातों रात बहुत आसान नहीं है। उन्होंने बोला कि स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी बनाने के लिए ना स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट यदि यूनिवर्सिटी बनानी है तो हमें 1000 करोड़ भी कम पड़ेगी, बहुत ज़्यादा उसका अमाउंट पैसा जरूर पड़ेगी इफ यू वांट टू सेट अप एवरीथिंग इन हाउस, तो वो शायद अगर तक पॉसिबल नहीं होगा। तो स्टार्टिंग में जैसे हमने कहा कि जरूर तस्वीर के लिए क्या बहुत बेस्ट मॉडल हो सकता है उसके ऊपर हम बात करते हैं। अभी बात करते हैं कि क्या हम सारे पॉलिटेक्निक को एकदम से मर्ज करते हैं स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी के पास बनाते या आईटीआई को मर्ज करते हैं, तो बिल्कुल लगता है उसमें जल्दबाजी नहीं करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि हमें पहले स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी का इकोसिस्टम थोड़ा सोचने का तरीका, स्किल का जो हमारे आने वाले समय में, क्योंकि हमारे जो पॉलिटेक्निक आईटीआई वो पुराने सिस्टम से चल रहे हैं वो ठीक है, मैं उसके बारे में कोई क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन उनको चेंज करना भी एक बड़ा काम होगा, उनकी भी ट्रेनिंग करना बहुत बड़ा काम होगा। क्या वो शुरू करें या पहले यूनिवर्सिटी को हम सेटअप करके वहाँ पर अपनी चीजें अपना इकोसिस्टम बनाना शुरू करें? मेरे को लगता है यूनिवर्सिटी पहले हम सेटअप करें और धीरे धीरे करके उनको भी फोल्ड में लेके आ सकते हैं। वी कैन डू इट, वी कैन अचीव बिगर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अवेलेबल है, इतने सारे हमारे पास में बिल्डिंग्स हैं, इतना सारे पॉलिटेक्निक कॉलेजेस हैं, ITIs हैं, तो उनको ऐसा छोड़ देना वो दैट इज नॉट ए वाइज डिसीजन। उनकी भी हमें उनको भी हमें एडवांस करना है, स्किल को बढ़ाना है, लेकिन स्लोली धीरे से। पहले हमें स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी का अपना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाना है। और जैसा मैंने कहा कि मैं 2-3 एग्जाम्पल आपके सामने लूंगा। मैंने लगभग पिछले 9 साल से मैं वाइस चांसलर हूँ। 6 वर्ष में पहले इंजीनियरिंग यूनिवर्सिटी में वाइस चांसलर रहा, जिसका नाम JC बोस यूनिवर्सिटी है, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी हरियाणा की। सारे बच्चे प्लेस होते हैं और वो इंडो जर्मन प्रोजेक्ट के बेस पर बनी थी। उस यूनिवर्सिटी का कंसेप्ट ये था, यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं जो पहले कॉलेज हुआ करता था, वो पहले पॉलिटेक्निक कॉलेज होता था और पॉलिटेक्निक में 4 साल का डिप्लोमा देते थे, एडवांस डिप्लोमा। और वो सारे डिप्लोमा वाले जो जर्मनी में कहते हैं डिप्लोम, जर्मनी में डिप्लोमा की वैल्यू बहुत होती है। जर्मनी में डिप्लोमा को मतलब ये ना समझो ऐसे डिप्लोमा मतलब बहुत हाई क्वालिफाइड, हाई स्किल्ड पर्सन होता है। तो उसी लेवल का उन्होंने जो YMCA कॉलेज था, इंस्टीट्यूट थी फरीदाबाद में, वो खोली। और उसके बेस पे फरीदाबाद एक छोटा सा शहर हुआ करता था, कोई जानता भी नहीं था, लेकिन YMCA की वजह से फरीदाबाद में बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज खुली। बाद में बहुत सारे वहाँ के जो बच्चे निकले थे वो एंटरप्रेन्योर बन गए, क्योंकि वो कंसेप्ट ये था कि बच्चे पढ़ते पढ़ते एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है। क्योंकि आजकल हम स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी का मैंडेट बना रहे हैं, वो ऑलरेडी वहाँ था। तो वो यूनिवर्सिटी अलग मॉडल से चलती थी। वहाँ के सारे यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं थी उस समय, कॉलेज था, यूनिवर्सिटी बनी बाद में। और यूनिवर्सिटी बनने के बाद वहाँ का इतना बड़ा एलुमनाई सेट बन गया कि वो एक बहुत अलग तरीके से सक्सेस स्टोरी है उसकी। तो मैं उसमें बहुत ज्यादा नहीं चाहूंगा, लेकिन अभी मैं गुरुग्राम यूनिवर्सिटी में कुछ दिन रहा, 3 साल रहा, वहां मैंने देखा वहाँ अलग अलग तरह की समस्याएं हैं। गुरुग्राम में बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज है, ब्लू कलर जॉब है, व्हाइट कलर जॉब है, बहुत सारे लोग काम करते हैं और बहुत सारे लोगों का पैसा बहुत है, अमीर अमीर लोग बहुत है। कई लोग तो ऐसे हैं कि विदेशों में बसे हुए हैं, उनको माँ बाप के लिए उनको समय नहीं, अनफॉर्चुनेटली पैसा बहुत है और किस तरीके वो सोचते हैं कि अपने माँ बाप की केयर भी करना चाहते हैं वो, लेकिन आ नहीं सकते। तो मेरे को एकदम से रिक्वायरमेंट आई यूनिवर्सिटी में, किसी ने कहा कि सर आई नीड 500 केयर टेकर, प्रेफरेबली वुमेन। उन्होंने वुमेन इसलिए कहा कि शायद वो ओल्ड के साथ में थोड़ा उनका बेटर हो रहेगा और वो दे शुड नो ड्राइविंग आल्सो, दे शुड नो हाउ टू ऑपरेट बैंक में जाके उनका खाता खोल दें, पैसे निकाल लें पैसे, एंड वो उनको हॉस्पिटल में ले जाने में भी काम करते हैं। वो उनकी केयर टेकर है, वो ये नहीं है कि घर में उनके लिए खाना बनाना है, सफाई करनी, वो नहीं है। लेकिन ये एक तरह का नया जॉब और डिफाइन हो गया एंड दे आर रेडी टू पे 50,000 रुपीज पर मंथ टू दैट पर्सन। अब देखिए आप 50,000 रुपए की नौकरी यदि कोई करना चाहे तो गुरुग्राम में 500 नौकरी अवेलेबल है। ये केवल गुरुग्राम में नहीं, ये सारे वर्ल्ड में ही आने वाली है आने का समय। मेरे पास एक जॉब और आया, इटली से कुछ लोग आए, कहते हमें वहाँ पे फार्म मैनेजर चाहिए। फार्म मैनेजर क्या है कि उनके पास में बड़ी बड़ी लैंड है, अमेरिका में भी, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी है, लेकिन उनके पास में फार्म मैनेजर जैसे ना क्वालिफिकेशन के लोग नहीं मिलते। तो कहते हैं हमें इतने सारे लोग चाहिए। तो क्या हम अपना एग्रीकल्चर का जो कोर्स चल रहा है, बीवॉक कोर्स चल रहा है, उसका रीडिजाइन कर सकते हैं क्या उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से? अगर हम ये कहें कि नहीं सर हम तो ऐसे ही रहेंगे, हम तो चेंज नहीं होंगे, वो गलत माइंडसेट होगा। आजकल का माइंडसेट ऐसा होना चाहिए, जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके हिसाब से हम डिग्री बना के दे रहे हैं, लीजिए आपका एक डिग्री है, बच्चा है, ले जाइए मार्केट में जॉब। तो ये एक क्लोज माइंडसेट जो हमारा पुराना चल रहा है यूनिवर्सिटी में, एज प्रोफेसर एज वाइस चांसलर, वो हमें चेंज करने की जरूरत है। तो फिर हमें कई तरह के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जरूरत नहीं है, केवल आइडिया को इंप्लीमेंट करना है। अब देखो बड़े बड़ी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, अगर आप यहाँ पर VLSI टेक्नोलॉजी की लैब बनाओगे सेमीकंडक्टर की, तो 10,000 करोड़ रुपए कौन आपको इन्वेस्ट करेगा यहाँ पर? तो क्यों ना आप छोटे छोटे पार्ट उसके वहां से निकालें और उसके ऊपर अपनी स्किल दें बच्चों को और वहाँ टारगेटेड ढंग से उन बच्चों को वहाँ लेके जाए। कल यहाँ पर कश्मीर यूनिवर्सिटी की वाइस चांसलर मैडम बैठी थी, तो उनके प्रोफेसर साहब भी मेरे साथ में थे। तो वो कह रहे हैं सर एक हमारा कोर्स चल रहा है यहाँ पर बीवॉक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टेक्नोलॉजी का, तो लेकिन वो पिछले 3 साल से उसमें कोई स्टूडेंट नहीं आ रहा। तो मैंने कहा हमारे वहाँ तो बहुत तेजी से चल रहा है कोर्स, सारे बच्चे इमीडिएटली नौकरी लग जाते हैं। तो हमने एक डिसीजन लिया क्यों ना बैठ के ऐसा करें, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री वो यहाँ पेपर तो बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्री है वहाँ पर, तो क्यों ना हम इंडस्ट्री तो यहाँ नहीं आ सकती डायरेक्टली इमीडिएटली, हो सकता है आने वाले समय वो भी आए, लेकिन क्यों ना हम यहाँ से ऐसा अरेंजमेंट करें कि बच्चों को वहाँ ले जाके कुछ यहाँ पढ़ाएं, कुछ वहाँ पढ़ाएं, कुछ इंडस्ट्री के अंदर डालें और एक ऐसा मॉडल बनाएं कि बच्चों को ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की वजह से पढ़ाई लिखाई में उनको असुविधा ना हो, उनकी डिग्री हो जाए और उस तरह से हम उसको काम करें। तो मैंने उनसे बोला और वो हमने ऑलरेडी MOU साइन करने पर एग्री हो गए एंड परहैप्स हमारे पास 1 साल बच्चा वहाँ पढ़ेगा, जिसमें 6 महीने हम उसको इंडस्ट्री में भेजेंगे, 6 महीने हम यूनिवर्सिटी में रखेंगे और बाकी 1-1.5 साल को यहाँ रहेगा। तो ऐसे छोटे छोटे शॉर्ट टर्म प्रोग्राम हमें चलाना चाहिए। एक और एग्जांपल लेता हूँ, मैं गुरुग्राम शहर में बहुत साल रहा तो मेरे बहुत सारे वहाँ आइडियाज आए। एक हर फंक्शन में कितने सारे फ्लावर्स यूज होते हैं, फूल कितने हर जगह, इतना कई मिलियन कई टन फूल वहाँ पे आता है, फ्लावर आते हैं और फ्लावर के बुके बना बना के बेचते हैं। मैं बताता हूँ जो बुके बनता है वो 200-250 रुपए के फूल होते हैं, लेकिन जब बुके खरीदते हो वो 2000 रुपए मिलता है। तो 1500 रुपए का इमीडिएटली उसको बेनिफिट मिल सकता है बच्चे को। यदि हम कुछ नैनो एंटरप्रेन्योर ऐसे बनाएं कि मैंने अभी एक कोर्स शुरू कर रहा हूँ अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में फ्लोरिकल्चर का, कि फूल कैसे पैदा किए जाए, कैसे उनको आगे मार्केट किया जाए, और वो कोर्स हो गया 3 महीने का। 3 महीने के कोर्स में यदि मेरा बच्चा जाके फ्लोरिकल्चर का बिजनेस शुरू कर देता है एनसीआर रीजन में, तो आई टेल यू उसकी सैलरी 15-20 हज़ार नहीं होगी, लाखों रुपए कमाएगा। तो हम जम्मू कश्मीर में भी ऐसी हमें जरूरत है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर तो इतना सारा पोटेंशियल है। मैं यहाँ पर नॉर्मली आने के लिए मैं राजी नहीं था, हमारे डायरेक्टर साहब ने उन्होंने कहा, मेरे को लगा कि कश्मीर के नाम पे मना नहीं करना चाहिए। तो कश्मीर एक ऐसी जगह है यहाँ पर आने के लिए लोग मना नहीं करते, क्योंकि इतना बढ़िया वेदर है, इतना बढ़िया एनवायरमेंट है। तो मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि यहाँ पर जो टूरिज्म है, यहाँ पर जो एग्रीकल्चर है, यहाँ पर जो हॉर्टिकल्चर है, यहाँ पर जो फ्लोरिकल्चर है, उस सारे एरिया को हमें किसी न किसी तरह गाइड करना चाहिए। जरूरी है, मैं ये नहीं कहता कि हमारे बच्चों को टेक्नोलॉजी सीखने का अधिकार नहीं है या वो नहीं सीख सकते, वो भी सीखें, लेकिन हमारा जो 70% हमारा एम होना चाहिए कि हमारे बच्चों को इमीडिएटली स्किल करके इस स्टेट के लिए हम इमीडिएटली उनको जॉब यहीं कहीं मिल जाए। बाकी 30% जो बहुत बच्चे अच्छे हैं, दूसरे तरह के बच्चे जो बाहर जाना चाहते हैं, वो हाई टेक्नोलॉजी की जॉब भी करें। उसके लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अवेलेबल है कई जगह। वो अभी जैसे बता रहे थे मित्तल साहब, वो IIT मंडी का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, वो अपनी यूज कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे फैसिलिटी उनको नहीं बनी अब थी, लेकिन IIT मंडी का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को मंडी में IIT इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर यूज कर रहे हैं। तो ये हमें ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, और मेरे को लगता है कि जो आपका कंसेप्ट है स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी का बहुत बढ़िया है, इसको चलाओ। आई एम रेडी टू हेल्प यू एज मच एज पॉसिबल, क्योंकि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में काफी सारे प्रोग्राम चल गए और हमें छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम को ध्यान देना चाहिए। अभी अशोक जी बता रहे थे, डॉक्टर अशोक जो वाइस चांसलर हैं, कि वो लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोग्राम के साथ साथ रिक्वायरमेंट के साथ प्रोग्राम जनरेट करना, जैसी आपकी नीड है इमीडिएटली। हो सकता है इस साल आपको जरूरत है पर्टिकुलर उसकी, अगले साल नहीं, रोक दो उसको, अगले साल फिर तो मार्केट में ये नहीं हम अनएम्प्लॉयड ग्रेजुएट और अनएम्प्लॉयड वो 10 पीपल नहीं बनाने, हमें तो वो करना है कि जिसको 100% जॉब मिल जाए। अब हमने ऐसे ही रेफ्रिजरेशन एयर कंडीशनिंग का एक सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस बनाया है, डायरेक्टली के साथ एमओयू साइन किया, वो हमारा स्टूडेंट था पहले, तो मैंने उसको कहा यार बनाओ यहाँ पर, तो लोग 2-2.5 करोड़ का इसलिए सर उन्होंने इक्विपमेंट लगाया है, एडवांस इक्विपमेंट लगाया है। हमने एक लैब दी है, उनके से आधे साइड की लैब होगी, और उसमें वो बच्चे ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, और वो बच्चे दुबई जा रहे हैं। एक 60 बच्चों के वो हमने वहाँ पर कोर्स किया, कुल 1-1.5 महीने की ट्रेनिंग की, 1.5 महीने की, और वो दुबई में जाके एयर कंडीशनर रिपेयर कर रहे हैं मेंटेनेंस, और उनको सैलरी मिल रही है 1 लाख सवा लाख को महीना, उसमें से वो 1 लाख में इंडिया भेजते हैं, 20,000 वहाँ रह लेते हैं। तो इस तरह का एक इकोसिस्टम बन सकता है, और हमारे देश को उससे बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म में बहुत फायदा हो सकता है। बहुत सारे अनेकों एग्जाम्पल्स हैं मेरे पास में, समय की वो है, बड़ी लिमिटेशन है, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहूँगा, लेकिन इतना जरूर है कि ये स्टेप आपको बहुत बढ़िया है। जिस स्टेज में चीफ सेक्रेटरी पूरी तरह से इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बैठे हुए, 2 दिन सेक्रेटरी बैठे हुए हैं, डायरेक्टर बैठे हुए हैं, आई एम श्योर ये वाला जो कमीशन है पूरा होगा, और सब लोगों को हमें ऐसी उम्मीद है कि जम्मू कश्मीर में एनवायरमेंट इतना बढ़िया है, इस एनवायरमेंट की वजह से आप बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। मैं अभी कह रहा था सेमीकंडक्टर का कोर्स है, उसके लिए कंपनी के लिए रिक्वायरमेंट तो 10,000 करोड़ की है, क्यों ना आप छोटा सा कोर्स चलाओ यहाँ पर कि सेमीकंडक्टर डिवाइस की पैकेजिंग होने लग जाए। पैकेजिंग, उसमें ज्यादा पैसा नहीं खर्च होगा, पैकेजिंग में 10-20 हज़ार करोड़ की या छोटी सी इंडस्ट्री लग सकती है, और बच्चों को नौकरी मिल सकती है, वो बहुत हाईली पेड जॉब भी है, लाखों 2 लाख तनख्वाह मिलती है उनको। तो ऐसे छोटी छोटी चीजें हमें आइडेंटिफाई करनी चाहिए, और उसके बाद हम आगे चलें। आई एम श्योर हमारा जम्मू कश्मीर देश का सबसे बड़ा और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट स्टेट बनेगा।
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and emphasizing how short-term courses are as relevant as long-term courses. Now, I would like to shift our attention to a very different thing, that at the same time, when we are building the new university, we also have to see how the current universities, where there is some infrastructure present, how we can use that current infrastructure to give future-ready curriculums to people. So I would like to direct this question towards Mr. Santosh, and I would like your input on this, that how using the current infrastructure we can train people for being a future-ready workforce.
Thank you. So, quite a heavy compartment of knowledge. So, first of all, my gratitude to the Chief Secretary, and also the Director, who extended this invitation to all institutions, including Wadhwani Foundation. I have definitely replied to your question. People are listening relentlessly since 10:30, 11. I'll try to make the environment also a little different and light. I'm reminded of a very famous saying that ask not what country can do for you, ask not what country can do for you, ask what you can do for the country. So I will redesign this statement and throw it open to the very august gathering here. That ask not what skill ecosystem can do for you, ask what you can do for this skill ecosystem. I don't have a copyright on this statement, but maybe I have not heard from anyone. And this part just came in my mind. I have been hearing a couple of very distinguished speakers from yesterday. And I was only wondering that today there is no information void. We have ChatGPT, we have AI, GenAI, we have Google. So none of us have the lack of information. But what I need, that probably we do not know. Whatever I have been hearing, it was so musical to my ears. I have my colleagues and friends sitting here from NSDC. We have Mahendra Payal. I just saw him. Yesterday, one of his colleagues spoke on the apprenticeship. Shefali ji from MSD spoke on this apprenticeship again and some other short-term training issues. Let me assure you, you are seeing the live example of how the government is sensitive to this business of scaling. And you rightly said, sir, the Chief Secretary is sitting for 2 days continuously, Secretary and Director, everyone here. We may have taken a little break also, they have been generally around here. That means definitely the government is serious. This is at the state level. At the central level, I had a privilege of serving in the National Council for Vocational Education and Training for 4.5 years. Interacted with a whole lot of institutions, had a very close interaction with the NSDC, which is a very, very important implementing arm of the MSDE. And whole lot of synergization is going on with the 22 ministries which are actually very serious in the scaling. But when we heard the speakers, I realized there is so much of communication gap. Few of them I would like to clear up because I see most of the audience who were there yesterday, they are there today. So a gentleman spoke about unskilled, semi-skilled and skilled labor. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a committee which has almost finalized this report. How can you call someone an unskilled? There is no one who is unskilled. So we have recommended now, I have to, inadvertently I keep putting on 2 hats. One was the government and now I am in Wadhwani Foundation as a private organization. But government का नाम है 35 साल तो बोलना चाहिए उनके बारे में भी. So now we have said that we should not say unskilled, say basic skill, semi-skilled, skilled and highly skilled. That is how now the skills are getting categorized. That is one. A lot of, when that document comes out, it's almost finalized. The moment it is in public, you will hear from the government sources. The point which I want to drive is that government is absolutely sensitive to all this. There was a gentleman from Maruti, Salim Saab, who made a mention that we have been requesting the DGP and the MSDE to have their intervention on these industry curriculum and courses. Ladies and gentlemen, you think of it, and the government has already made it happen for you. Unfortunately, probably there is no capacity building. So all of you are aware that there are a number of schemes with DGP runs, And Mahendra Dayal is here. NSDC is fully implementing and cooperating in this issue. Like we have dual trade training, the Flexi MOU. Flexi MOU is nothing but, let's say Maruti industry needs 1,000 people to assemble the engine. Now government cannot make a course which will cater to the Hyundai way of assembling, Maruti way of assembling, so there is a generic education given. Subsequently, when they go and join a particular institute, then they learn the nitty-gritties and the specialty of that particular institution. Having said that, that's why we came up with this thought that why not take Flexi MOU, wherein we don't even put anywhere in the curriculum, the model curriculum and the competencies which a particular industry needs. You bring your qualification to MSD, the organization under MSD is National Council for Vocational Education and Training, which is a government regulating body. You bring it to them, they will review it, they don't even put an ink to it. They will approve because it is tailor-made for you. However, when you take those children for the training, they ask from the government is that you should be able to absorb at least 80 to 90% of them. Because मैंने मारुति का ट्रेनिंग कर लिया और 3 महीने 4 महीने ट्रेनिंग करने के बाद आपने मुझे उठा के बाहर फेंक दिया. I'm just taking any particular name without making any offense to anyone, any ex-institution I will say. और वो करने के बाद यदि मुझे वहाँ जॉब नहीं मिला, I'm gone. No other institution will take me because मैंने उसके लिए किया था tailor made. So Flexi MOU आप देख रहे आइए. Government with open arms is going to accept it, approve it, and instead of ranking National Skills Qualification Framework, it is going to go on our portal, which is called SIPS, Skill India Digital Hub, being maintained and managed by the NSDC, and anybody is free to take. So, not only that, I also heard some of them talking about the ITI age-old system and all. Now I am on the other side of the fence. I was making policies there and trying to criticize the ecosystem. Now when I am on the other side of the fence, I realize that I have joined this gang and started criticizing the policies which I made myself there. What does this give a lesson to me? I am definitely going to take it to the Secretary MSD, and from where is here, he will be taking it to the government institution there. We have so much of mismatch, there is actually very little synergy. Today, when Professor was talking, Dinesh was talking about how imaginatively you can make the qualification short courses. Ladies and gentlemen, already multitasking, multi-scaling, cross-sectoral scaling qualifications are being approved. All we need is we got to know each other, who is making what, and share that and start making it. There was, Irfan Saab made the attrition in the banking sector. He said that he picks up people, marketing skills are not there, and so the attrition rate is very high. He spoke of the J&K Bank. I am privy to an organization which is called Indian Staffing Federation. Under Indian Staffing Federation, there are 137 Indian staffing companies. I see their call. When I am interacting with them on a daily basis, they are employing more than 800 people, recruiting them and putting them into the various sectors they employ. And to get that 800 people, they have to interview. First of all, mobilization is a huge challenge. Once they are able to mobilize, for that 800, they have to interview more than 5,000 people. And then they get that 800. और जब ये 800 बच्चे जाते हैं, तो उसमें से 300-400 बच्चे वहाँ से there is addition, they run away from there. So it is not that things are not in place. Everything is in place. Short-term courses starting from 100 hours to 800 hours, 1200 hours. It is already there. My friend from Lega was talking on the integrating the various infrastructures, and he said that it is available. I totally endorse it because I work very closely with them and the Quest Alliance on new set of employability skills which we are making. I'll take another minute to explain it to you. We made 12 employment skills module, and we said that this will go in all NSQF aligned courses. Everybody started teaching how can a course be applicable to the neo-literate in the rural areas, and also a PhD fellow trying to learn the same digital literacy, financial literacy. It's not possible. So the government has already worked on it. Now, very soon, maybe in a matter of 6 months, these 9 modules have been made, 50 sub-modules have been made, their content has been, not content, the model curriculum has been made, and the content is under progress. That content is being made. You will get the facilitators guide and the participants handbook free of cost in the entire country. You will also get the e-learning videos, because if you have to learn something in 1 hour, in 20 minutes you learn that in the video. So with that concept, everything is coming up. But I'm sure the people are sitting here, very few people would be knowing that this is something which is happening, which is coming up. And it's there in the public domain. All this information there in the public domain. But we also got to probably, stitch things together and then make things happen. Coming back to the infrastructure which you had thrown that question to me, we have no dearth of infrastructure. NSDC had come up with a very innovative thought process wherein the training centers, we said that the government institutions which are already existing, so that we don't have to spend more on the infrastructure development, they are picking up those as the training centers. But all is required is that the government, as well as the private institutions who are here, the private players who are here, in the entire ecosystem, they should understand what is the ask from the government to run that thing. Government is ready to understand कि आप सुबह से लेकर स्कूल and वहाँ पे सुबह 7 बजे से लेकर 2 बजे तक आपका वहाँ पे स्कूलिंग होता है. उसके बाद में when can you make that place available for the skill training? So all these things just need to be discussed on table through whom we can connect. Yesterday, like what you had, I had a good break with the Deputy Director साहब माननीय फारूक साहब के साथ में मेरी बात हुई. And when I told him that how pro bono thing I would get it to him for the ITI ecosystem, so he was so happy about it. So it's all we connect and we understand each other's problem and then go ahead. Together we can definitely win over this world. So infrastructure, there is no dearth. Somebody talked about the ITI. The government is already spending 60,000 crores rupees for upgradation of 1,000 ITI. Entire syllabus is going to be revamped. We all are trying to do something or the other. Snyder is there, Batman is there, Quest Alliance is there. So जो भी हमारे पास में है, जो भी हम फ्री कर दे सकते हैं गवर्नमेंट को हम लोग करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. And we are committed to do whatever best we can. In fact, Lender has been one of the pioneer institutions in helping the NCVET, MSDE in doing that employability skills. Rajila is a dear friend. So I know that there is no dearth of people who want to help the ecosystem. Secretary Sahab was mentioning to me that their first priority is to making a DPR. We have institutes here who will help them understand the entire ecosystem and make DPR for them. It could be a program, it could be free of cost. It can be an agency hired and then everybody pitching their thing and then we make that. It is there just for asking and you would get it. But we have to understand what we need. One last thing I would like to bring up, because since I have been here, just imagine 4 years I have been this state is very close to me. I have spent my 11 years here. So it's like coming home for me. 5 years I have been harping on the government as well as some of the private bodies here in the JNK, asking them that be part of this skill ecosystem. There is something called, which Anwar ji also spoke of, getting a recognition. So what happens when you get a recognition from an institution, You understand their policies, there is a commitment from your side. You understand their policy, you are able to interact with them, you are able to take things forward. Now, in the same crowd, I have a friend who was with me in the National Council for Vocational Education and Training. A brilliant guy from Kashmir. He was with us for almost 2 years, he worked with me. But there were some family issues and all, and he had to come back. We tried to keep him there, but we could not because the compulsions at home were so much that he had to come back to this place. So when we talk about the youth, no youth wants to get out of this place and go roam all around unless there is a solid jump in the finances. जो आदमी दिल्ली में रह के 1 लाख रुपया पे अपनी जीविका का अर्जन करेगा, उसको जम्मू कश्मीर में रह करके वो 40,000 रुपये में कर लेगा, तो he would save little more extra money. And यहाँ की फिजा, यहाँ की everything is so vibrant. And why should somebody like to come and spend time in Delhi? So are we doing anything on that issue? Government has given you a platform, ONDC, जहाँ पे इतनी छोटी सी चीज जो कावड़न होता है, जो गोबर होता है जानवर का, उसका भी जो उपला बना करके आप उसको ONDC के प्लेटफॉर्म पे बेच सकते हैं करंटली में. That facility is there. So there is an education for me. Yeah, and so I'll end there. Last word, there is a operation goodwill के तहत जो है, so आपके स्टेट में there is an institution which is making LED these bulbs and all. This you go and buy in Delhi, it is costing 2,700, 2,800 rupees, and in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, it is costing 700, 800 rupees. And उसमें भी वो अपना profit बना रहा है, and he is giving jobs to so many people. Why can't we do the same thing for the carpets, handicrafts, paper machine? How can you really take it to the national and international platform while being in JNK? So, from the Wadhwani Foundation, I am here with a promise. You ask for our support and for knowledge sharing, for anything which is within our permissible limit, we would be able to help you out. We have MSDE, we have NCVET, we have NSDC, I'm sure I'm not taking his points and trying to speak out. We all are here to help this state. It is just there for asking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and also bringing the and it's making the whole ecosystem accessible to not just Hyderabad youth, but also for every resident in the state. One thing that really stood out for me that the BDP training that you said, the behavior domain and technology strength, and you also highlighted that you are partnering with all these ITI and polytechnic institutions to give that training to these people. So in context of state like JNK, where we already have ITI and polytechnic established, now if we want to do something like BDP training, what are the kind of infrastructures that we will be looking at? And I would really request you to keep the questions aside.
Sure. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the question. And of course, Wadhwani Foundation is lucky to have Colonel Santosh with them now. So definitely, and the kind of work that he has done and the work in his TC and everything that he is phenomenal. I think when we talk about behaviors and all these things, I'll start with a very simple thing, right? And my thing is, when we are parents, right, we tell our children, eat this is good for you. Correct? Yes? When you come to the school, which is elementary school, what does the teacher say? Learn this by heart because oral recitation, test it. You come to college, we as educators, what do? Don't concentrate on this question, concentrate on this one. This is more important from an examination point of view. Right? When they go for work, what is the first thing they are asked? Work as a team. We have never taught them how to work as a team. Right? Second thing, think for yourself. Again, you never taught them how to think for themselves. Right? And that is where the basic problem starts from. And that is the reason why a BBD kind of approach is the best. Right? Today, as Colonel Santosh said, there's so much money, 60,000 crores being spent for modernization of ITIs, right? I think today, if you ask me very frankly, right, I've got nothing against engineering colleges, etc. But unfortunately, our curriculum today has become where, and the job market says, I will not equip you for knowing the definition of a screwdriver. You should know when to use, where to use. Engineering colleges today are producing people who are theoretical. Go to any manufacturing company, engineering students are only used for Q and QC. So this is the ecosystem of polytechnics and ITIs which will be the future of India. I'm sorry I'm making a sweeping statement over here, though I've been CEO of Ascom Foundation earlier, but I think we have missed the software bus. यहाँ पे कोई प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन का कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. Physical from Infosys was the last thing that was created. उसके बाद कोई प्रोडक्ट नहीं है. We are only into services and operations. That's all that we are producing right now. Right? ITIs, polytechnics are people who are the most sought after. But they are not given the value of it. And I think when we talk about redefining the skills sector over here, I will take an example from China. China, why it became a leader in nanotechnologies? There were more than 18 universities, 18 colleges that got together to create Shanghai Taohu University. Right? And that's it, because today, as our NEP says, it has to be interdisciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. Right? When we talk about behavior, etc., I think the basic fundamental, I go back again and again, there's only one Havaman in the world, a building without foundation. Okay? So foundations have to be very, very strong. Be it in terms of communication skills. My second solution is in this kind of a thing. Theory today, there is Google University, used to be there earlier, now you have ChatGPT and God knows what universities. Right? I would recommend that our faculty members, instead of teachers, should become facilitators. Learn the theories, etc. at home. I will teach you how to apply it. And that is what skills. Right? Application of knowledge is skills. Higher order thinking skills, etc. and all these things. Growth mindset, critical problem solving, learnability. Right? All these skills have to be there. When you talk about domain, IT is going to become a horizontal, very frankly. Right? There will be nothing called as IT separately in a couple of years. But that's where it is. So everyone has to understand about AI, ML, everyone will understand about IoT, everyone will do all this. So that is where those are technologies. But how we apply it in different domains is what should be covered. Just taking an example from Telangana, of course, we have both the things over there. We have Jamnagar Skills University, which is the Honorable Chief Minister's Dream Project, where they are having 17, 18 schools, and it is getting constructed. But right now they are operating out of the Engineering College of India, Hyderabad, Punjab. So that is happening over there, but they have not stopped. They are working with industry. They are saying, industry, please own each school and do the curriculum that industry requires. See, the whole concept of NSBC, where all the content was getting developed up, initially, GPFS modules, etc., everything was developed by Infosys, right? But the challenge initial days was people who had themselves created the curriculum are not recruiting them. They were not getting any advantage because they were NSBC certified. But now, of course, the whole thing has completely changed. Our aim is how you equip these students along with the industry getting funding and the other thing. Talking about ITIs, we have converted 65 of our ITIs into ABCs, Advanced Technology Centers, along with Tata Technologies. So 6 new programs are being launched over there, including CNC, robotics, it is EV. So modernization of ITIs, I think we should move away with courses, data entry, what they call that one. Why are these programs still in our curriculum? Data entry will die, programming will die, forget about data entry. And that is where it is. Second thing what I like to say is in this kind of thing, infrastructure. What we used to do as task was we had to train, I don't know how many of you know, 40% of the global vaccines are manufactured in Telangana. 30% of drugs are manufactured in Telangana. Right? So there's a huge need for pharma students. But you can't take them and train them in the companies, etc. How do they understand what is a reactor? How do they understand the production? We use PR. Right? You don't need to create infrastructure everywhere. Use a hub and spoke model, use technology. One of the, let's say, Kupara ITI, you are putting up a robotics training facility. Right? That facility should be connected to all across the state where any student can access it virtually and program the robot. There's so much of technology that is there available. So I don't think you need crores of rupees. You need to think differently. You need to act differently. You need to position it differently. That's all that is required to create a vibrant ecosystem. And at the end of the day, what you need to do is only one thing. Help your youth understand. तो खुद ही को बात का तुरंत इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे बोल तेरी रजा क्या?
Thank you so much, Mr. Srikanth. It was really insightful, and I would like to thank all the panelists online and offline who joined us and shared their insights. And thank you so much for joining with us. We'll move on to our next session. Thank you so much.